that they could have gone for in that pick. The Storm Spirit panel is saying that that's a tough game for it. How do you see this one working out?
I'm not too sure because I'm not big of a fan of Slark in this meta, but it is a pretty good Slark game. It is not really a good Storm Spirit game. There's so much lockdown there. I was thinking to myself, I was like, just Lina and LC, like that's not too bad. But Monkey King does have a bit of a stun that you have to work around, and then you have a huge ensnare coming out from the CM as well. You've got burst damage from both the Lina as well as the Juggernaut, so it is going to be a super tough game for Ana. He does have the Abaddon, which obviously helps this pick up quite a bit. I'm still working it out in my head in which team I really think won this draft and which team is actually going to win this game 2. I might have to cheat a little bit and think about it while we watch this laning phase unfold.
Well, it's a complicated one, too, because you've got the rotations that are coming in from the Monkey King and from the Earth Spirit. So a lot of it just depends upon how much those heroes get and are able to accomplish in the early places and where they end up going. In your eyes, is there a mid lane that's more easily gankable between the Storm Spirit? And I'm guessing that this is going to end up being a Legion Commander, or excuse me, what am I talking about? Not a Legion Commander, Lina in the mid lane.
Yeah, I think they've got really good potential to be able to shut down the Storm Spirit pre-level 6. Both Monkey King and CM can make those rotations because Juggernaut's kind of fine by himself against an Abaddon. No big issues there. Our off-lane Legion Commander, how well is she going to do? She's facing up against a Visage, Slark, and Earth Spirit. I would like to see XXS probably pick up a TP scroll from the side shop. He could probably abuse that a little bit. He does have a press the attack to be able to take off like Grave Chill, for example. So there's some small workarounds, but one of the things I really liked about the Slark is it is going to be an excellent way to be able to deal with the Legion Commander. Not many current cores can deal with it. One of the best ones, like Lifestealer right now, like he's being run all the time because he's so good at being able to zone out offlaners among many other reasons, but even he struggles against the Legion Commander. So I kind of like this pickup, but I have a hard time seeing how effective No-Tail is going to be going into the mid-game, especially as IG start grouping up.
Well, and that's certainly always a possibility, and we saw IG try and do that in the previous game as well. Didn't quite end up working out the group ups tactics, and it also is worth noting that you see up there in the off lane, we're getting some good zoning out. The Monkey King, he's even getting deep behind the Tyrian Tower as XSS is going to get jumped upon. As you mentioned, you do still have that Legion Commander with the TP scroll, and he's just gone.
Yeah, good call. Like, the roll-in level 1 for the Earth Spirit is super deadly unless you have the TP scroll to be able to work around. Right, you get slowed, you get pounced, you're dead. So you have to always work around that. Just plays off of a little bit of Shrine efficiency, comes back right back in the lane. Yeah, Monkey King, that's just what this hero's turned into. We saw the group stage. Oh, super good roaming. And then, I don't know, who was the first team to really start utilizing this hero as just like a zoning hero? Might have been EG. Yeah. I'm not too sure, but it was just like one team was like, okay, this is just our zoning hero against like heroes like LC and Abaddon. They just can't do anything. Centaur, same thing. Like none of them can beat Jingu Mastery because Jingu Mastery is Jingu Mastery, and it's a terribly strong spell.
Yeah, it's sort of transitioned from Monkey King being really hard to deal with because of how strong that ultimate was to being hard to deal with because of how much he offers you in the early game, which is definitely a problem. But you can take a look already. The early CS battle very much into the favor of IG because of that. And Abba's been completely pushed out as a hasted in illusion rune is running around.
He knows this is around the timing the courier is going to be coming out for the Storm Spirits. So he was just like, okay, I'm not going to be on map, right? Because when you're in this deception form, hell, I'm not even sure if Abaddon realizes he's being routed just yet. S4 will back up at the right time.
God, in that range as well, always able to get 3 stacks up. You can't stay there at all. And you look at the way that this game has gone, the CM actually has more CS than the Storm Spirit does. Not often that you see that happen.
No, not at all. IG, I really like the way they're using this Monkey King, not just to zone out the Abaddon, but it also frees a lot of space for this Crystal Maiden to just be full efficiency off of jungle. So her rotations are going to be all the more important when she finally does decide, okay, I want to make this play. Probably, play around some sort of boot smoke timing or something like that. Try and wrap around. I would say she's try and wrap around into the Storm Spirit from the right-hand side with Monkey King approaching from the left-hand side. I think that'd be a nice pincer move that they can make. Fly.
Fly in some trouble. They can continue the chase here, and well, there's going to be the kill. They do manage to find it. First blood going to bo3, and also mounting some damage onto No-Tail. He needs to pounce away from that one.
I kind of have to wonder, you know, how they were pulling the creeps in. He did hit a couple of the creeps. I just wonder how close that nuke was to finishing him off, and if hitting some of the other creeps helped secure that kill, or if it was just a freebie anyway.
In the meantime, up in the top lane too, yeah, Burning just going to apply some damage onto S4. Does still have the shield, so no great chance for a kill there onto the ABBA. It's also worth noting that we had the CM who started stacking up that offlane camp. So on top of being a part of that first blood, I would imagine that XSS can possibly get some early momentum by virtue of that farm.
Yeah, certainly. Like, say the supports rotate into the mid lane and XXS isn't really feeling comfortable sticking around at bottom because now Earth Spirit does have a stun coming out from his level 2, then boom, like spend a little time farming out that offlane camp. Whether the gank is successful or not from those supports, they're eventually going to rotate back to bottom. You'll feel comfortable once again.
Oh, and setting up now on mid. Jerax is just going to hold on to this, soak up whatever experience that he has available to him since Storm is headed off to the jungle. And I mean, this makes sense. You need to get whatever you can out of this laning stage. OD, who have already been so heavily gone upon here, and well, there's just not really a great answer. Monkey King having come down here as well. It's turned into a dual lane situation with CM still farming in the jungle. Maximum efficiency from IG.
Storm Spirit, this is probably one of the earlier transitions into jungle you'll see. It like started with like, okay, Alchemist and Storm Spirit level 5, and then we started seeing, okay, maybe level 4.5, you're feeling pressure. Now it seems like we're closing out on just like level 4 and abandoning. But it does cause some issues, right? You're being safe. Yes, you're getting secured farm. You're not dying. You're not giving up first blood, but you are giving away a tower potentially. You can see the chip damage that is already done. That mid tower is one of the the really important objectives in the game, right? It's the first tower that really offers a lot of map control over an area that is usually well contested. So being able to chip that one away like OP has done is a huge win.
Jump away there for No-Tail. Yeah, and the other thing that you now have is level 6 on Lina that just got done. So not only are you going to be able to take the tower, but you're threatening that movement in towards the jungle as well that could follow. And you even more threaten anybody that does come up into lane now that they see that Lina's level 6. A great start indeed. And I'm wondering, you know, there's a lot of lanes that are going well for IG right now, but the other big problem that you have is that ABBA's not getting a ton out of the laning phase either.
Yeah, they just zoned him just enough so then you get phase boots on Juggernaut, then phase boots Juggernaut pretty much challenges every offlaner. Bye-bye. Bye-bye, Fly.
That was always going to end up happening if you move over for that rune. Unfortunately, 0-2 start for OG, but IG looking a lot better coming out of that break, feeling like they've come up with an answer at the very least.
Well, looks like OP thinks he might be able to kill this Earth Spirit with just his regular nukes and some right clicks, but we know. Okay, we're going to wait it out. This smoke rotation just in time. Ana level 6. Maybe they can combo stun him. There it is, the jump forward. Oh, no, he missed the Burrow strike.
Oh, that looked ugly, but I think that they still find this kill nonetheless.
All right, bo3, he wipes his forehead. He's just like, oh, that was a close call. If he escaped because they missed that boundless strike, it's a big time blunder, but good recovery. They'll take the mid tower off of that. The rotation from the abandoned stuff just isn't going to be good enough. IG, significant lead, and while I expected them to take a laning phase lead, I did not expect it to be this far up, and a lot of it is the Monkey King, right? He zones the abandoned first. Juggernaut then gets phase boots and can zone the abandoned by himself. Then he's zoning the Slark. Slark is not having a good time in that safe lane because he just keeps on getting jumped on and has to back away from the creeps against this Jingu Mastery stacks. Like, it's not like he could just Dark Pact it off or something like that. So he's just kind of gonna deal with this. He's extremely pressurable before level 6. Everything is looking very good for IG, and they should have an even better mid game with the kind of heroes we're looking at.
Yeah, and not only, oh god, Burning. They wanted to go onto that Storm Spirit there, but couldn't quite get the Frostbite to control Ana. And they're going to take it on the tower. Now they actually do have him.
Nice
Omni Slash used, but Ana, he gets away. Oh, Joe's so close, jump forward. He's got to build it. No, not quite there. The range isn't enough. 3 HP. Actually has the Orb of Venom. It's going to kill him.
Oh,
he dies to the Orb of Venom. Oh, baby.
bo3 picks up a big-time kill. We said, hey, they've got a lot of burst damage. You kick off by any of these ensnares, and you're done for. Ana does not fully respect that one. Trying to get the deny on the tower, it's not that important. And it's such a risky play. No-Tail does finally pick up his level 6, but the Legion Commander is in a very good position. We're going to see a pretty fast Blink Dagger, I assume, followed up by the Blade Mail. That's going to be a big threat to both the Storm Spirit as well as the Slark. This laning phase is looking like a clear IG win for me.
Oh, in the early duel as well, onto the Slark. IG taking no prisoners, 0-5 start, and this is with heroes that can maintain and continue to accentuate that lead that they're already building.
Yeah, absolutely. IG, they control the game so well, and a lot of it is just, I was watching them leading into DAC, and I was so impressed by IG and their very decisive movements. So that's what you're saying here, right? Like really quick play onto the Storm Spirit, rapid rotation. They take that tower, all of a sudden, boom, Burning's bottom. What the hell? Burning just got a kill at top. Now he's bottom. He's getting this kill on Slark. He's taking a tier 1 tower. Like OG, they're just like being swept over by this really fast pace that IG are currently setting. And this is why they have these like two kind of strategies, right? Because they play it so well. They seem to have perfected the movement of this more aggressive lineup that they have. And obviously the Tinker one didn't pound out for him, so it was kind of obvious that in game 2 they were going to go back to this tried and true method.
Yeah, and now you've also got that OP picking up the minus respawn talent so they can keep that momentum as well. It's all part of the strategy that they know quite well and execute quite well, as bo3 doing a little bit of mind games there with Ana. There is Jyrix in the bottom lane. We've talked a lot about Earth Spirit.
He doesn't have his level 6 though.
Oh, S4?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's a thing that he can do with this hero. Actually, he's going to be stunned, so maybe getting a little bit too big for his britches. He finds a 4-person boundless strike, but we'll die for it.
bo3, you're getting real silly here. Like, why are you going behind a tier 2 at 10 minutes? Like at this point in time, you should expect OG are going to start grouping up a little bit more. Even if they haven't hit the levels that they really want, level 6 on Earth Spirit, level 6 on Abaddon, they do have to start protecting themselves against all the aggression you're putting forward. So it's at this point in time that you accept that group up and you just play more of an efficiency game. You farm all 3 lanes, as well as play a little bit off of jungle with your CM. You're going to wait until you hit your next window, which is going to be usually based around Blink Dagger on XXS. And Arlena, not sure what kind of game this is for him. I guess with the initiation of the Blink Dagger, you don't need like an early Shadow Blade or anything like that. So let's just keep it traditional and go straight for the Bloodstone and make sure we do have that scaling later on into the game, because I can guarantee like IG is not just going to close this out by 30 minutes. I don't think I've seen a game at this tournament that has closed out that fast. And against what is arguably the best team here, it's unlikely. So you have to plan for that eventuality. You're not going to be able to sweep over OG like you've done in the early laning phase. Get some scaling. So Midas on Monkey King is a great example of something they probably need to build as well.
Yeah, and well, S4, they get the Aphotic Shield to take it off, but bo3 is chasing. And with the rest of OG being behind, it does look like IG, they're still not too afraid of this. No Blink Dagger yet. This is a pretty bold move, but yeah, they're just going to hunker down and take down this tower. S4 is still trying to hold the line, not allowing them to move forward. Burning just gets one shot off. But with Ana here now, they pop that ulti for S4.
Yeah, that kind of ruins it right there.
Yeah.
OG, they can't fight anymore without that ultimate. It's like one of the best ways for them to be able to react to the initiation. Oh, that was a good attempt, I guess.
That would have been a really great play if they could find that pickoff on the Monkey King to start it. He has his level 6, but it does look like it's going to be Burning. Takes the tier 2 tower, now going to TP back.
Oh, he's actually going a hand of Midas Slark. I'm not going to say no to that. Yeah. I'm not gay, because OG, they have to find a way to be able to work farm into their lineup with less map control. And Hannah Midas probably going to be the best ways for Slark to do that. They need to give a lot of farm to Ana in this jungle area. Like, they have to give that to Ana, because Ana can't be out there. Like, pretty soon he's going to have to worry about a Blink Dagger. Shortly after that, it's going to be maybe another Blink Dagger. Maybe we'll see a CM one or something. And it's going to be Shadow Blade on Lena. You know, there's all these things that Ana, being in lane, is susceptible to. So Slark is going to have to be farther out there in lane, and he's going to have to give the safe farm to their mid.
Yeah, it definitely feels like this could be one of those games where No-Tail dies a lot, but they still end up coming back and winning it. That style of play where you have to pull the team around and pull IG around the map. But he still has to be so careful because you've got, you know, XSS that can jump forward there, get a duel off, and then he's toast at that point.
Yeah, I just struggle to see how a Slark is going to be able to do that, right?
Yeah.
He was like, okay, they're going to get a space creator, and I said, Slark. I was like, okay, I guess it's kind of a Slark game, but you can't lose the early game this badly for it to be a Slark game. Now IG, even if you do get Shadowblade anytime soon, they're going to start grouping up, and you won't be able to find any pickoffs. IG are doing a great job, just, you know, like they're not even committing too many heroes up here. They still have somebody farming bottom, the Lina right now. So they're taking objectives while still maintaining something. I don't think they want to give up the mid tower here either, and they'll probably start rotating pretty quickly here to defend that.
All right, well, OP pickoff would be a great way to start it, and, well, you talked about grouping up. IG was not that time. Lina comes back in an instant, but that is a key one.
That's kind of funny. OP just puts himself there, and he does successfully defend the tower because they kill him, but it's not a hero that's actually out of it, right? He's just going to start running down mid. They're afraid of the rotations from the rest of IG, so they don't put practically no damage on that mid tower. Big kill, yes, but IG still take that tier 2 and hold all 3 of their outer towers at a pretty healthy pace.
Yeah, and you do have a little bit of lost Bloodstone charges there, but it's not the end of the world. I mean, as long as Lina's still coming back and later on possibly being able to offer a Bloodstone suicide could be another thing that they see.
Yeah, absolutely.
But Monkey King, he has gone back for, I believe I saw a Hand of Midas.
Yeah, he's got the Hand of Midas. So he's going to start rivaling No Tail's farm pretty soon. He's already 700 above the net worth of the Storm Spirit. Things like CM, for example, is always going to scale pretty well because the jungle farm. So this is going to be this kind of lineup, right? It's going to be the lineup that does not drop off significantly. I keep making that mistake. When I look at these lineups, I'm like, okay, 35, 45, because that's what traditional logic says.
Yeah.
But we're getting into a newer era of Dota, and these heroes have much more longevity into the late game than they used to, thanks to certain things like Hand of Midas and Talons.
Oh, Ana gets jumped. There's going to be the duel, trying to find the kill, and they do find it.
Big pickup. They've got the positioning, take the tier 2. I'll just, you know, pick up a familiar or 2. Looks like just 1, but some extra gold there as well. All the towers gone. IG, they could take Roshan. Well, okay, they're not going to take that tier 2 mid. That's a little surprising to me, but maybe they just want to make sure they don't get any towers away.
They want to try and instead find...
They don't have anybody behind him. I think Bobaca's just forcing them back, keeping them scared. Well, IG are definitely respecting OG and what they could potentially do.
So I remember when I was watching the Chinese qualifiers for the Kiev Major, there was this constant play that IG, they would just push down lanes and take objectives when the other team wasn't fully ready for it. And they would hit this very nice moment where you had all of your heroes at like their peak performance relative to the other team and then take down towers. And it feels like with like maybe the next Aegis or possibly the one after that, they're going to be able to at least think about finishing off all those tier 2s and going high ground. Just one left down on the map right now in the mid lane. And wards across the map as well, scouting all of the movements from OG very deep in the jungle.
And OG are going to have to defend for a long time, right? Because you're talking about like some timing windows and stuff. And if you look at IG's lineup, one of the best parts about it is that it's kind of always ready to fight. Yeah. Their only real big cooldown spell is the Juggernaut Omni Slash, but he's still a pretty fast hero in general. Lina actually has something extra with this Bloodstone and Respawn talent. So when they aggressively push in, say they lose that fight, they're still going to have Lina up pretty quickly to help defend a tower. So it's going to be OG not really granted too many objectives when they successfully defend.
So the last mounted aggressive onto this tier 2 tower. OG not really in a great position to make anything happen from it. You can see just by their map movement, you're pushing down the bottom lane, you're pushing down the top lane. You want to hold as long as possible, certainly, but need to make sure that you don't lose any of those heroes that aren't mid.
Yeah, this is just time. Time for OG to do a little split pushing things, which is, again, like, I love the fact that IG are never putting all their heroes into a push and still maintaining a possibility of finding a pickoff, like Ana, for example. They've got LC moving across. I don't think he'll catch him. Oh, maybe I spoke to him.
Oh, my goodness. So close. Ana is going to get that TP away. Oh man, that's a clenching moment right there. You know?
Yeah, it is. That was like, oh my god, that stun lasted so long. And they almost got that dual animation off.
Yeah.
So yeah, like that's exactly right. They got the tier 2. They didn't give too much space to Ana. He still feels terrified, even farming the enemy jungle when they're pushing down their mid tier 2 tower. He's not anywhere close to his Bloodstone, really.
Just look at this vision that they have on the map right now. IG, that ward there over in the mid. You've got one off to the side in the lane, one sitting in the right by where high ground is, basically. They see everything.
So if I look at this from OG's perspective and I say, okay, how do I get myself back into the game? It's going to be a very long, hard defense. Right? Time after time, you have to defend against IG's high ground pushing potential. They don't have... Actually, they have pretty okay for early game pushes, right? Because Jug is pretty tough to eat through. He's got the healing ward, and the Lena's going to be sitting pretty far back. So they have to be able to find these windows for smoke push-outs, catch IG, because IG have been kind of greedy, right? They push 2 heroes mid, and they spread out a little bit. Try and punish that, I think, with a smoke rotation or 2. You get the right pick-off, that opens up a tower, and boom, you're right there close to your Bloodstone for a Storm Spirit.
Yeah, and he actually almost has it even without that, just the farming that he's been able to do. He's getting very close. And that's something else to talk about, is that you get one of those snowballing heroes, the key item up for him, and it's going to put him in a great position. There was a smoke broken.
Just popped. Yeah.
Slark not going to get scouted, and it does look like NoTail will get away with that one.
He doesn't get a pick off with his first Shadowblade entrance, but...
Oh, Storm Spirit. Can they get out of here with him? They will be able to. Stunning XSS, and now just going to be able to get out. Doesn't look like Boboka is quite going to be able to find anybody.
Nice job by OG. This is like kind of what they have to do in this sort of this static phase. They have to stay ahead of the IG attempted ganks. It's very tough. They have to be really good at reading movement around the map, because they're not going to be able to rely on a whole lot of aggressive wards. IG naturally has a huge support gold bounty to be able to work off of. They have like so many counters and probably an early gem to be able to pick up. And then they also have these early Shadowblades that are going to be picked up. I know Monkey King almost has his, and OP, he has his already. So they're going to be those two pick-off Invis heroes kind of running around. It's going to be very much a game based around, I think OG, they have to have a good feel of what's happening and where IG are going. Just be able to read their motivations and their movements around the map. Well, this may be a pretty obvious one, though.
Yeah, this is pretty clear what's happening. Although, front and center burning, are they trying to make anything happen here? NoTail is just going to farm it out, but they get the duel off. Able to find NoTail. That's an easy pickoff.
That was so fast from XXS.
Wow, and now you've got Aegis. Slark is dead for 40 seconds. He doesn't have buyback. IG are going to be mounting the high ground offensive, and there really isn't an answer at all.
They don't even have their Lina yet. He's still pushing out bottom lane, but IG don't care. They know they're so much stronger than OG at this point in time.
All right, TP back by Storm Spirit. He has his soul booster, doesn't have enough for that Bloodstone yet, though, and, well, the tier 3 tower is about to drop. There isn't an answer. They got nothing. OG lose the first tier 3, and maybe more.
All right, G gonna go for more. It's gonna be a little bit tough, but then maybe they can get this Rax.
Okay, burning. He's going to go into his Blade Fury. There's going to be Laguna Blade, barely able to stay alive. Does have a Photic Shield back up again in a second. They've maybe gone a bit too far, but OP gets the Shadow Blade away. Now the MKOT, they've turned it on to Ana. He is going to drop as well. They bought back on the Slark, did have enough by the end of it, but maybe he can make something happen, magnetize onto everybody. The silence as well. It's not looking like it's enough. IG are just going to back out. They don't care. Nobody dies, and that was two buybacks expended.
Looks like I spoke way too soon, Gabe. Forgot Monkey King Ultimate was the thing. How can you push into it this early? They preemptively set it up, and they get this really excellent catch by XXS once again. So on point with his dual pickoffs.
And now another tower getting gone on.
I love it. Again, decisive, right? Just go straight for the throat.
They know what they need to do, and they're accomplishing it right now. Burning, still hitting onto that tower. The pounce through there isn't not really an answer at all. IG have not stopped this push, and with Aegis still at hand, why would you?
There goes another tier 3. Burning's got a healing ward up in 20 seconds.
Oh, they've turned now. There's a light strike array onto 2. Ana trying to bring down that Lina, but OP, he shadow bladed away, turns to fight Laguna Blade. And look at dodge launch again for a second, but can they bring down No-Tail? He solos in the Shadow Dance. He's going to be able to walk away from this one, but On a Duel is going to drop dead again. S4 trying to run away. They managed to make it to the Shrine. The Boulder Smash onto 2, but there is just too much damage coming out from IG. They're going to take this second lane of Barracks.
Gabe, I could not have been more wrong for this game. I said, OG, you know they're probably going to be able to find something, right? IG have given them nothing in this game. No opportunities, no windows. They just close out the game. 1, 2, 3, a 23.5-minute victory. This is how you come back in game 2. This is how you make a statement.
Oh, look at him. He's fired up. IG incredibly happy with themselves. You can hear the reverence the crowd has for this team, and particularly that player, Mr. Burning himself. Not necessarily the playmaker for me. It was XSS who really stood out, but clearly OG are going to need to come up with some answers. Brief little thoughts about what you thought of that game, where you see it going here.
I think OG